Record ardilya. Om Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naranjaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraget Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. It's been a long gap between our previous class and this class. It's perhaps the reason why the number of students attending online are lesser, and more so because it is a working day there today. Yeah. So we thought it could be slightly easier for people to join in today, because considering it is December 30th and 31st, I think for some it is still difficult. Okay. So we completed up to the 69th shloka in the previous class, and which covered up to 650th nama. So we begin with the 70th shloka in this class. Please repeat once after me. Kamadeva Kamapalaha Kami Kantakritagamaha Anirdeshya Vapurvishnuhu Viro Nanto Dhananjayaha. This 70th shloka contains 10 namas beginning from 651 to 660. 651 is Kamadevaha. Kamadevaha meaning the god of love or the god of desire. Don't give me instructions when I'm taking the class. Kamadevaha. Kamadevaha means the god of love or desire. Kamyate iti kamaha. So whatever is desired by the people in the form of purusharthas. Purushartha meaning that which is desired by people, right? Purushaihi artyate iti purushartaha. So dharma, artha, kama and moksha, all these are referred under one name, one term in this nama called kama. Anything that which is desired. So dharma refers to the punya which is desired by people. Artha meaning anything that gives security to one. It could be money, it could be house, it could be a good job, it could be the family, people around him. All these come under Artha Purushartha. Anything that is sought after by human beings as a source of security is Artha Purushartha. And Kama Purushartha, as a Purushartha, Kama refers to all the enjoyments that are sought after. And Moksha Purushartha, which is the Parama Purushartha. Now, whatever is desired by people which comes under these four Purusharthas is referred to as Kama in this nama. And Bhagavan is in the form of all these Purusharthas, is in the form of the Kama itself, the desire itself. And he is also the one who is the giver of these Purusharthas. Therefore, he is called Kamadevaha. In the Gita, Bhagavan says, Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharata rishabha. He says, hey Arjuna, I am in the form of the desire in you which is not opposed to dharma. Every dharmic desire that you have in your mind, it is me who is in the form of the desire itself. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Kamadevaha. Also, this Devata named Manmata is also called Kamadeva. And this Devata, who is personified, who is the personification of the law of the desire in every being for the propagation of the species, of its own species. Therefore, this desire which is bestowed upon every living being is for the propagation, is to be used for the propagation of the species and not merely for indulgence in sense pleasure. And Bhagavan in Gita, he says, I am in that form, in the form of that desire as well. He says in the 10th chapter, Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpaha. Of the desires, I am the desire that every species has to propagate its own species. So that completes the 651st Nama, Kamadevaha. 652, Kamapalaha. Kamapalaha meaning the protector of desires. For the Adhikaris, Bhagavan is the one who protects everything that one achieves. Where he achieves good name and fame, Bhagavan is the one who gives you the ability to stay with the name and fame, and where one earns good amount of wealth, Bhagavan is the one who helps you protect the wealth. Also, he protects the desire or the love with everybody. That is why he is called Kamapalaha, protector of the desire itself. Because through love, one experiences Ananda. Where one does not experience Ananda, nobody will go after love. It is because there is Ananda in love that people go after it. Otherwise, they would only be evoking hatred among each other. The bitterness in the relationship will happen. Therefore, without Ananda, there will only be pain. Therefore, Bhagavan is the one who protects the love by giving Ananda because of love. 653, Kami. Bhagavad Pada says, Purna Kama Swabhavatvat Kami. Bhagavan is the one who has all his desires fulfilled. Now these namas are given to Bhagavan from our own standpoint, because we only have an experience of an endless struggle to fulfill our desires, our wants. And therefore, we see him as Kami, the one who has all desires achieved. All desires in full measure, he is accomplished. There is nothing that he needs to accomplish or achieve in any of the three lokas. 654, Kantaha. Bhagavad Pada says, Abhirupatamam deham vahan kantaha. That is, he is the one who attracts everyone like a magnet. So what attracts everybody? What attracts everybody? What does everybody run after? Everybody runs after something that pleases themselves, something that gives them ananda. Everybody wants to be happy, everybody wants to be joyful. And a happiness, a joy that does not change, or that does not diminish, that is everlasting. This is what everybody is running after through any desire that they seek to fulfill. Therefore, what everybody is attracted to ultimately is nothing but the pleased self in him. He or she seeks the pleased self in himself or herself. And this ananda, like a magnet, attracts everybody. This is one meaning. That is why he is called Bhagavan in the form of Ananda. Bhagavan being Ananda Swarupa, he is called Kantaha. You can bring your chair here. It's totally blocking. The other way of looking at this Nama is that in his avatars of Shri Rama and Shri Krishna, Bhagavan is taken to have, he is visualized with a very, very attractive form. Rama is said to be very attractive. Krishna is said to be very attractive. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Kantaha. Or another way of looking at this Nama is, Bhagavan is the one who brings about Anta to Ka. Kantaha, therefore. He is the one who brings Anta to Ka. Ka means Brahma. Anta means he puts an end. So Bhagavan is the one who puts an end to the life cycle of Brahma, lifespan of Brahma. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Kantaha. 655. Kritagamaha. Kritagamaha will occur for one more time as the 789th Nama. Here in 655, Bhagavad Pada says, Kritaha agamaha Shruti Smrityadi Lakshano Yena Saha Kritagamaha. Kritaha agamaha Shruti Smrityadi Lakshano Yena Saha. Meaning, agama means the Veda. The Vedas are authored by Bhagavan and also revealed by Bhagavan. And Bhagavan, Vedas are supposed to be all knowledge. And Bhagavan, who is the author and the revealer of the Veda, therefore has to be all knowing. Therefore, every knowledge or every discipline of knowledge is from Ishvara alone. Therefore, the one who authored it, the one who revealed the Agama or the Veda is called Kritagamaha. 656. Anirdeshya Vapuhu. This is a very beautiful Nama. I enjoyed the meaning very much. This occurs for the second time as the 656th Nama. This we have already seen as the 177th Nama. Bhagavad Pada gives a very close explanation between these two, 177 and 656. In 177 we saw Anirdeshya Vapuhu. Vapus means his Swarupa, his body or his very nature, his Swarupa. With respect to his Swarupa, in 177 we saw that you cannot categorically define him as this or that. This is what we saw when we saw the Nama as the 177th Nama. Here, Anirdeshya Vapuhu means Here, whose vapus, whose body is the name and form, all the names and forms, all the manifestations of this Jagat. And he being every manifestation in this Jagat, every name and form as his vapus, his body. Now, this being Maya, you cannot categorically say whether it is real or unreal. Therefore, it is anirdeshya. You cannot categorically, you cannot classify it either into the real category or the unreal category. Therefore, he is anirdeshya vapuhu. With respect to his swarupa, as we saw in 177, he is anirdeshya vapuhu. Also, with respect to his mayopadi, being all the names and forms, he is again anirdeshya vapuhu, as described in 656. 657. Vishnuhu. Vishnuhu occurs for the third time in Vishnu Sahasranamam. We've already seen it twice as the second Nama, where we saw he pervades everything and he is Deshakala Vastu Paricheda Shunyam. This is what we saw in the second Nama long ago. He is not limited by time and space, and being not limited by time and space, he pervades everything. This is the meaning we saw in the second Nama. Then we saw the same Nama as the 258th Nama. There we saw he is called Vishnuhu because he strides through all the worlds. And we also quoted the Trivikrama Avatara. So with respect to the Avatara, he is again Vishnuhu. And here in 657, he is again all-pervasive in the sense that he manifests in every sphere of this Srishti. In Mahabharata Shanti Parva, there is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, where Krishna tells Arjuna, this is a nice shloka. I'll just chant this shloka from Mahabharata. Vyapte me rodasi partha kantirabhyadiko sthitam kramana chapyaham partha vishnurithyabi samgitaha. He says, hey Arjuna, I pervade all the lokas, I pervade the heaven, I pervade the earth, and in fact the entire universe. I pervade meaning I interweave the universe. I am the very material, the basic stuff of this universe, and I am the one who interweaves this universe, just like how the thread interweaves into the cloth. In the same way, I pervade this universe. I am Vishnu. 658. Viraha. Viraha is again occurring for the third time. The first time we saw as the 401st Nama, 401. We saw that the one who is valorous, therefore he is called Viraha. In 643 we saw the one who is courageous, therefore he is Viraha. Now in 658, Bhagavad Pada says, this dhatu, this root, verbal root, V, can be drawn into various meanings. It can mean motion, it can mean creation, it can mean shining, it can mean throwing, it can mean eating. It's very versatile. So many meanings can be drawn from this verbal root V. And Bhagavad Pada says, the one who has the power of all these actions, motion, creation, shining, throwing, eating, all these actions, therefore he is called Viraha. 659. Anantaha. Anantaha will occur for one more time as the 886th Nama. Here Anantaha means limitless. no anta, no limitation for him. He is sarvavyapi. Taittiriya Upanishad says Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So he is Anantam. In Vishnu Purana it says even Gandharvas or Apsaras, all the Siddhas, Kinnaras, just everybody, Uragas, Chanaras, all of them cannot know him because he is limitless and the limited mind is not capable of grasping him. The limited mind or the limited intellect is not capable of grasping the limitless. Shiva Purana, we know of the story where he appeared as the stamba of light, of the glowing stamba, the Adi and Anta of which was not known to anyone. So he is Anantaha, meaning the one who is limitless, who does not have a beginning nor an end. 660. Dhananjayaha. Dhananjayaha meaning he who is the conqueror of wealth. Arjuna was called Dhananjaya in Mahabharata because he won a lot of wealth. He earned a lot of wealth for the Rajasuya Yajna of his elder brother, Yudhishthira. And because of that, Arjuna was so famous, he earned a lot of name and fame, and he was also very great. And that is why in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Pandavanam aham Dhananjayaha. Of the Pandavas, I am you, Arjuna. He tells him. And Bhagavan is himself called Dhananjaya, as it is only because of his grace that I am able to earn some wealth. Whatever I am able to earn, whatever I am able to save or accumulate is only because of his grace. And whatever I gain is only because as his prasada. So that is Dhananjayaha. That completes the 70th shloka. Move on to 71. Please repeat once. Brahmanyo Brahmakrit Brahma. Brahma Brahma Vivardhanaha. Brahmavid Brahmano Brahmi. Brahmagno Brahmana Priyaha. All the namas in this shloka are interconnected with Brahma. There are 10 namas in this 71st shloka, starting from 661 to 670. So we will see them. They are all interconnected. The first one, 661, Brahmanyaha. Now we have already seen this in the introductory shloka. Shloka number 12 in the introduction. Brahmanyam sarvadharmagnyam lokanam kirtivardhanam. There we saw Brahmanyam means hitam. Hitam. Whatever is good to Brahma is Brahmanyam. And what is Brahma? Whatever is good to Brahma is Brahmanyam. Alright. What is Brahma? Brahma can mean tapas. Brahma can mean Veda. Brahma can mean Vipra, the wise people, or the Brahmana. And Brahma can also mean Jnanam. So tapas, Veda, Vipra or Brahmana, it can also mean knowledge or Jnana. Now Bhagavan blesses the Chaturmukha Brahmadeva in his creation. His tapas was the creation itself. So Bhagavan blesses Brahmaji in his tapas. Therefore, it is hita to Brahma, to the tapas of Brahma. Brahma is the tapas of Brahma. And Bhagavan's blessing is the hita. Therefore, he is Brahmanyaha, Brahmanyam. And Bhagavan blesses the Vedas by protecting it from loss. So where Brahma means Veda, Bhagavan does Hita by protecting the Vedas. Therefore, he is Brahmanyam. And where Brahma means Vipra, the wise people, the learned people, the educated people, or the Brahmanaha, Bhagavan blesses them, blesses all those people who study the Vedas. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Brahmanyam. And where Brahma means knowledge, Jnanam, Bhagavan blesses the very knowledge as he is himself the subject matter. Therefore, he is called Brahmanyam. 662. Brahmakrit. Brahma here meaning the Vedas. Bhagavan is the author of the Vedas. Therefore, he is called Brahmakrit. 663. Brahma meaning Chaturmukha Brahmadeva, the creator. So, Bhagavan is none other than the creator in the form of Chaturmukha Brahmadeva. Therefore, he is Brahma. 664. Brahma. Brahma meaning the truth of everything, the ultimate reality. Taittiriya Upanishad gives the Lakshana, Brahma Lakshana, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Every Upanishad contains the Brahma Lakshanas. So it is very interesting for a student who studies Upanishad to gather all the Brahma Lakshanas and analyze. So this we can perhaps do it once we take up in future, if we get a chance to take up Upanishad study, so we can do that. In Vishnu Purana, there is a beautiful shloka. Pratyastamidabedam yat satta matramagocharam vachasamatma samvedyam tadjnanam brahma sangitam. Vishnu Purana says, that which is known as Brahma, which is the very Jnana Swarupa, which is the very knowledge itself, is free from differences. It is actually condensing all the revelations of Upanishads in just one shloka. This is such a weighted shloka. It says, Brahman is free from all differences. The differences which is called as Triputi, the knower, known, and the knowledge. This difference, where one is the subject, one is the object, and another is the instrument. This difference does not exist in Brahma, in the ultimate reality. And also the Vedas, the differences which are called Sajatiya, Vijatiya, and Swagata. Sajatiya meaning the differences between the same species. If you take the tree as one species, so there is a difference between mango tree and coconut tree. So this is called Sajatiya Veda. Between the same species, there are differences. Something called Vijatiya Veda. Vijatiya Veda meaning difference between a tree and a man. The species is different. Therefore, this difference is called Vijatiya Veda. And Swagata Veda means within the same entity itself, the parts are different. The branch is different from the leaf is different from the fruit is different from the trunk is different from the root. So, within the same entity, the parts are different. This is called Swagata Veda. Brahman is something which doesn't have Sajatiya Veda, Vijatiya Veda, or Swagata Veda. All these are analyzed in detail by Upanishads, which is concised and given in this one shloka in Vishnu Purana. And here, Bhagavad Pada recalls all these teachings in just this one Nama, the 664th Nama, which is Brahma. 665. Brahma Vivardhanaha. Brahma Vivardhanaha means it is because of His grace alone that the knowledge of Veda grows. 666 Brahmavith. Brahmavith is the one who knows the Vedas and their meaning, and Bhagavan is the one who is in the form of every knower of Veda along with its meaning. Brahmanaha, which is 667. Bhagavan is the one who is in the form of Brahmanaha, who has studied the Vedas and who is also teaching the Vedas. Therefore, a Brahmana, actually speaking, a Brahmana has a very, very important and a great role to play in the society. He has to learn the Vedas and he has to teach the Vedas. Not just enough if he teaches, he is also required to live a life which is centered on the Vedic teaching. Unfortunately, today what happens is all those children who are not capable of faring well in the regular school academics, you say Patashala through. You send him to Patashala. Now, he is not fit for, as though, Vedic education is something less and there's no great intelligence required. No? So, it is not that Vedic education is any less. In fact, Vedic education is the highest. And this Brahmana, who is supposed to study the Vedas and also live a life which is centered on the Vedic teaching. This is why there is a Subhashitam which defines who an Acharya is. It says, Achinoti Shastrani Achare Sthapayatyapi Swayamacharate Yasmat Tasmat Acharya Uchyate. Acharya is the one who lives the teaching, who studies, who gains the knowledge, who has the knowledge of the Shastras, and who also lives the teaching. Swayamacharate Yasmat. He teaches and he also lives. There is no preaching here. You don't go blah, 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 and you live a life which is totally, different from what you speak. It has to be one. Such a person is called Brahmanaha. 668. Brahmi. Brahmi. Brahmi is the possessor of Brahma. Brahma meaning again Veda, tapas, knowledge, everything. The possessor of the Veda, the possessor of tapas, the possessor of knowledge, because all these belong to Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Brahmi. 669. Brahmagnaha. Brahmagnaha means the knower of the entire Vedas. The Vedas are classified into the Karmakanda, the ritualistic portion, and Jnanakanda, which is the knowledge, the Upanishad. Now, the knower of the entire Veda, Karmakanda and Jnanakanda, is called Brahmagnaha. And because Bhagavan is the author and Bhagavan is the one who revealed it, naturally he is the knower of the entire Veda. Therefore, he is called Brahmagnaha. Now, sometime back we saw this Nama Brahmavith in 666. That also means knower of the Veda. Now, Brahmagnaha also means knower of the Veda. What is the difference? So, Brahmavith can refer to a person who knows a part of the Vedas, or who knows, who has gained the knowledge of the ultimate reality. He may not know the ritualistic portion. Such a person is called Brahmavith. But the one who has the knowledge of both the ritualistic portion and the Upanishadic portion, both Karmakanda and Jnanakanda, is called Brahmagnaha. That is the difference. 670. Brahmana Priyaha. Brahmanaha are people who are committed to the Vedas, Vedic study and Vedic lifestyle. And Bhagavan is the one who loves such people. Therefore, he is Brahmana Priyaha. So, Brahmanas are the one who hold the Veda and the Vaidika Dharma very, very dear to them. Because to them, the Veda and the Dharma are nothing but Bhagavan himself. And therefore they play a very, very vital role in keeping these two alive, both the Veda and the Vaidika Dharma. And Bhagavan is the one who considers such people very, very dear to him. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Brahmana Priyaha. And where such, in the introductory Bhashyam to Bhagavad Gita, Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada says, where such Brahmanas are protected alone, the Vaidika Dharma is protected. If such Brahmanas are not protected, the Vaidika Dharma will lose its shine, will slowly start diminishing. And that is what we see. Whether, protecting Brahmanas mean whether the Brahmanas are upholding the Dharma or they, give up the Dharma. Once Brahmanas start giving up the Vaidika Dharma, the Vaidika Dharma is not protected anymore. Right? Slowly there is a deterioration in people as a whole following the Vaidika Dharma. That completes the 71st shloka. Shloka 72. Mahakramo Mahakarma Mahateja Mahoragaha Mahakratur Mahayajva Mahayajno Mahahavihi. This 72nd shloka contains 8 namas starting from 671 to 678. 671 is Mahakramaha. Mahakramaha means the one who has huge, big, wide steps. Bhagavan has big legs, big body, therefore wide steps he takes. Now, when Bhagavan is all pervading, what will happen when such a Bhagavan walks? There is no place which is not covered by him because he is already all pervading. Right? Therefore, he is Mahakramaha. This, for those who have learnt Taittiriya Parayanam, there is the Shanti Patam to Shikshavalli, Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha. There, Shanno Vishnu Urukramaha. There is this line that comes. Urukramaha means there is nothing away from him because he is Vishnu, he is all pervading. Therefore, he is Urukramaha. There can be nothing that can be away from him. He covers everything. 672. Mahakarma. Mahakarma will occur for one more time as the 787th nama. Here in 672, it means the one who is of great actions. And the great action meaning Srishti, Sthiti and Laya, which is the greatest action that is performed. And Bhagavan is the one who performs this great action. However, though he performs such a big action, such a huge task, though he performs, he is free from Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva. Kartrutva meaning sense of doership, that I am doing. That sense he is free from. And Bhoktrutva, that I am the enjoyer of the results of the action. That Bhoktrutva also he doesn't have. He is free from both. Why? What will happen if I have Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva? That is, they are saying it so special here that Bhagavan doesn't have these two. As individuals, we have both Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva. The sense of doership is there and the sense of enjoyership is also there. Right? What happens is, when one has the sense of doership, this results in guilt. You start repenting for the actions that you did in the past. You suddenly feel, no, I should not have done that. How did I do that? I should not have done that. Now, this is the result of doership. Where one has doership, he will be given to guilt. And on the other side, where one has Bhoktrutva, he will be given to hurt. See, when I am the receiver of somebody talking at me, somebody blaming me, somebody commenting about me. So I am the receiver of that. What happens? Because I consider myself to be the enjoyer of, not the enjoyer, you can say I don't, the experiencer of that particular experience. What happens is I get hurt. I say that this person hurt me. The way he spoke, the way she spoke, the way he behaved, I am not comfortable and I was hurt. So this is a result of whose fault? It is not that person's fault that that person is hurting me. It is because of my sense of bhoktrutva that I get hurt. Therefore, I feel guilty because of my sense of doership, and I feel hurt because of the sense of enjoyership. And Bhagavan is free from both. Therefore, being free from kartrutva and bhoktrutva, he does not have a sense of doership, and he also does not have a sense of enjoyership. And all his actions being free from hurt and guilt, it is Mahat. Therefore, he is Mahakarma. 673. Mahatejaha. Mahatejaha, the Tejas refers to his effulgence, his brilliance, and also his valor. He being of the nature of the consciousness principle, which illumines everything. If the luminaries in the space are shining, the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, if they are able to shine, the shine is because of Bhagavan, who is in the form of the consciousness principle. Now this light, the Tejas, the light, often our senses are also referred to as light. The 5 sense organs that we have, the mind, they are also referred to as light by the Shastram, because it is through these organs, through these instruments, that we gain knowledge. And since knowledge is compared to light, even when we speak in common parlance, we say, may I throw some light? Meaning where some more explanation is sought, some more clarity is sought, some knowledge is sought. You say, can you please throw some light? So this light is often, used as a metaphor for knowledge. In that context, extending that idea, our senses and mind are also referred to as lights. And all these lights function as lights. They give knowledge. They function whatever they are. If the eyes can see, if the ears can hear sound, if the nose is capable of sensing smell, the mind is capable of thinking. If all these can happen, it is because of the presence of consciousness, which is Bhagavan himself. 674. Mahoragaha. Mahoragaha. Bhagavad Pada write, Mahamschasau uragascheti. Mahoragaha. Mahamscha asau uragascheti. Mahoragaha. Uraga means the one which moves with its body. It doesn't have legs. Therefore, it moves with its body. The serpents. And of the serpents, Bhagavan is Mahauragaha, the greatest of the serpents. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Sarpanam asmi vasukihi. So, Bhagavan's vibhuti is specially experienced in this serpent named Vasuki, which is supposed to be a great bhaktiman, as we have seen in Mahabharata also. 675. Now 675 onwards to 678, 75, 76, 77, 78. These 4 namas are interconnected. Mahakratuhu. Mahakratuhu meaning one who is the great sacrifice named Kratu, who is in the form of the sacrifice itself. The sacrificial yajna, the ritual, is called kratu. It's a Vedic ritual, it's a Vedic sacrificial ritual where there is an octagonal yupa, a post, which is octagonal shape, in which the sacrificial animal will be tied to it. And such a yajna is called kratu. And of the kratus, the greatest kratu is considered to be the Ashwamedha kratu. The Ashwamedha kratu is considered to be Mahan, the greatest. And Bhagavan, it is Bhagavan who is in the form of the very ritual, the very sacrificial ritual named kratu. 676. Mahayajva. And the Ritvik who performs the yajna is also Bhagavan. The performer of such a yaga is Bhagavan himself. 677. Mahayajnaha. The Pancha Mahayajnas that are prescribed to the Grihasthas. Just to give you a brief outline of the Pancha Mahayajnas, Deva Yajna, worship of God, any form of worship of God. Even, chanting a few stotras or a shloka every day in front of God, or even lighting the lamp, the traditional lamp in front of God and doing namaskara to him or her, whichever form, is called Deva Yajna. The second one is Pitru Yajna. Pitru Yajna is worship of the forefathers. Yajna means worship. The third one is Rishi Yajna or Brahma Yajna. Worship or gratitude, paying gratitude to the rishis who have given us all our scriptures. So, even chanting of Vishnu Sahasranamam on a daily basis comes under Rishi Yajna or Brahma Yajna. The fourth one is Manushya Yajna. Manushya Yajna means paying gratitude to the entire human race. You are eating food, you eat vegetables, you have grains, you have fruits. Human beings are the one who plant them, who harvest them, and who make it available for you. And the dress that you wear, it is all woven by human beings who are involved in that. So, in every part of your life, there are groups of human beings who have, aided and supported your civilized living, whatever life that you're leading today. And we owe our gratitude to them, and even your neighborhood. We owe our gratitude to each and every one of them. So it can be by way of, offering food to them, annadana, which is indeed a very big, attempt or a very big gesture. Even saying hello, or even talking to them, asking, how are you? And, sometimes even a smile is good enough. So that is Manushya Yajna. And the fifth one is Bhuta Yajna. And similarly, we owe a lot to the animal and plant kingdom. If you can consume yogurt today, if you can consume fruit today, it is because of the bacterial action, right? And you consume milk, so that is from an animal again. And there are animals which are used for, agriculture. So many animals. Animals are a part of the entire system. And therefore, we owe our gratitude to the animal and plant kingdom as well. So that gratitude is called Bhuta Yajna. This is generally done by way of, putting kolam with rice flour outside the house, which, goes to feed insects. Or, there is a tradition where once you cook food, you do the Swami Nevadhya, and then you allocate a portion of the food, a small portion of the food to the crow or to some bird. That is again part of Bhuta Yajna. So, Bhagavan is the one who is in the form of these Mahayajnas. Therefore, he is called Mahayajnaha. And 678, Mahahavihi. Havis means the oblation. And Bhagavan, it is he who is in the form of the greatest oblation. When it is the pralaya, the time of Pralaya, the entire Jagat is offered as the oblation into Bhagavan. So, entire world is swallowed by him. As though he, it is offered into the Agni. And whatever is offered into the Agni becomes one with Agni in the Homa, in any yajna. And Bhagavan says in the 9th chapter of Gita, he says, Aham kraturaham yajnaha svadahamaham aushadam mantrohamahame vajyam ahamagniraham hutam. He says, I am every part of the yajna itself. And that is, a sample that is given by 675 to 678. Every part of the yajna is Bhagavan himself. The priest is him, the yajna is him, the person who is chanting is him, and the oblation given is also him. And at the time of jnana, where one gains this knowledge, the entire jagat is swallowed. The individuality of the jiva is swallowed by the jnana. Everything is offered as ahuti to the jnana, where the knowledge being that there is no jiva or jagat that is separate from Brahman. And Bhagavan, who is the receiver of this great havis, he is called Mahahavihi. So that completes the 72nd shloka. So we will take a break perhaps and resume after 5 minutes. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.